All right, so I see a lot of attendees still joining in. It's already been a minute, and let's begin with today's webinar. Hello, everyone. Again, College Multihexa and MSM welcome you to our exclusive virtual tour of Saguenay. This webinar will be hosted by our Student Recruitment Manager, Alexander. In today's webinar, we would like to show you one of the largest and beautiful city of Quebec, known as Saguenay. We will also discuss some important information such as historical information on the city, local services available in the region, area versus population statistics, cost of several services that are available in the city, how a student can actually reach Saguenay, recreational activities, and the virtual tour of the city itself. Please feel free to drop your questions in the Q&A while we take you through the entire tour of Saguenay City. We will ensure to answer your questions before ending this webinar. So without any further ado, I would like to hand over to Alex, who's already at a beautiful location to give everybody a virtual tour of Saguenay. I hope everybody enjoys. So yeah, Alex, over to you.
Hi, good morning to everyone from here in Saguenay. Welcome to you all. I'm sorry the sun hasn't come out quite just yet. It was hopefully going to come out, but it's still a little bit cloudy here. But the spring has arrived. The summer is on its way here, which is nice. So I'm actually come to a little location here in Saguenay. In 1996, there was a very, very big flood, the biggest overland flood in Canada at the time. And it wiped out many, many houses in Saguenay, but this little white house was left standing, which is now a kind of historical site in the town. So I've come here. In the background, in the very distance, you may be able to see the mountains, where obviously when the snow comes, we have ski slopes there. And then in the background behind me, there is town of Scutami, which makes up part of Saguenay. So that's where we're welcoming you from today. Now, beautiful part of the region. As you can probably tell, I'm not actually either. I'm from the UK. I've been living here now for nearly 17 years. Be living a great quality of life, very friendly and warm people. You know, good place to be for studying, good place to be for bringing up a family. Fantastic activities and fantastic surroundings, like really, really beautiful nature all around us. So it's an absolutely lovely place to be living. You know, we're obviously a few hours north of Montreal here. We're surrounded by a couple of national parks and, as I say, the mountain range as well. So yeah, it's a really fantastic place to be living. And this is obviously where Multihexa College is. We're about probably about 10 minutes from the college at this precise moment. But, you know, everything is nice and closely located within the town, all the services and all the shops. So the students, all their jobs are in town as well. So they're already very well located here and very well settled for studying. So Bhumika, if you would like, I can go and bring in our two students who are here with me this morning. I had to get two students out of bed early this morning, so they're probably not so pleased at me, but let me go and find them. Hang on a second.
Yeah, sure. Let's hear what they have to say about the city life.
They're just sitting over here. They can tell you a little bit about their experiences so far. These two have been here since early this year, so they've experienced some of the Canadian winter. So good morning to my two students.
Good morning, everyone.
So maybe you would like to tell us a little bit about your time here in Saguenay so far?
Sure. So I'm here from last 6 months and joining my online classes. First I came here and after that I went to college and everything was very good. And now like some stuff is going on here, like everything is good. I have got my job. Alex is very helpful. Like in College Multihexa, we are having almost everything in very proper detail. Everything keeps going in a well-mannered way. So whenever we need something, Alex helps us in like each and single thing. So everything is very good here. So if like in short, if I want to say, College Multihexa is one of the best college in this location. And according to me, as of my experience, as I have spent almost 6 months here, and based on that, I got a top-notch review of that particular college. Thank you.
And do you like the region as well?
Yeah, region is good, Alex. I have visited a lot of places here, and there are a lot of good places to visit and keep calm yourself and enjoy yourself with your friends. And we are a good like students here. Almost we are 50 to 60 people, which are going and enjoying ourselves. And sometimes it depends according to the COVID rules. We can't go somewhere, but now the situation is good. We are out of the red zone, and day by day the situation is getting in control, and we can go and enjoy ourselves. The city is good. We are exploring. Time by time we will explore it more. So this is a good place.
Okay, fantastic.
Yeah.
And on to my
Hello, my name is Charanjit. I'm from Amritsar, and called Multihexa is a very good college, and Alex organizes very well. But Alex organizes things for us very well. He's a good teacher and do all for us.
and you like the region here?
Yes, I like the region here. Here there are many places to visit.
And the people are good to you?
Yes,
Yeah.
people are good. We have to learn new language here, French language, which is good for us to live.
Okay, and you're enjoying the classes at the college?
Yes, I enjoy the classes in the college.
It's fun to be at the campus now as opposed to be online?
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, excellent. Bhumika, any questions you would like to ask?
No, I think that's all.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. You can sit and wait for me there.
All right, so it was really nice having students share their real-time experience. Moving forward, I would like to quickly present my screen. So allow me a minute. I think we go ahead with a quick information on the city, Alex. That includes the local services and the extracurricular activities and the overall life that the students can live.
Perfect. Well, yeah, so as I say, I mean, I've been living here for 17 years now. I mean, it's a really beautiful part of Quebec. It's kind of the gateway to the northern part of Quebec, obviously the northern territories of Canada. I mean, there's not many people living up there apart from probably some bears and some moose and things like that. But you know, it's a fantastic place to be. You know, we're not as big a city as somewhere like Montreal or Quebec City, but we have all the services that we require. As you can see, from Montreal, we're about 4.5 hours drive, or about an hour in a plane. There's a local airport here, which is good, which serves us for all the students that arrive. We're very close to Quebec City, which is the capital of Quebec itself, which again is another beautiful city. And then, as I say, we're surrounded by lots of nature parks. We have Lac Saint-Jean, which is a very, very big lake, you know, with beaches around the lake. So that's beautiful. And we have the mountain range, which is close by as well. And the river Saguenay itself, which runs directly through the town of Scutami here. It's actually a fjord, like the fjords that you would find in Norway. So it's obviously a river that's been carved out of the mountains, you know, many centuries ago. So it's absolutely beautiful. You know, there's some great boating tours that go up and down the river, and the scenery is spectacular. Do you want to click onto the next slide? Okay, perfect. Thanks, Bhumika. So just a little history about the region. Obviously, I haven't been here since way back in the 1600s, but obviously history probably goes back further than that. But yeah, initially inhabited by the Iroquois Indians, obviously, you know, the native people, they still live around here. There are still Indian reserves throughout Canada as well. When it initially started having people settling here, it was used as a trading post, mainly for the fur trade, with Europeans who were coming in from France and from England and places like that. And then industry started to grow here well, in the mid 1850s, I would say. And the main industry at that point was forestry. Obviously, the forestry industry is very big in Canada as well. Then, as you can see, the Société des 21 was a group of colonists who came here. They were looking for land, they were looking for natural resources again. And they kind of really created what now is the region with Scutami, which is the main town here, and L'Abbé and Jonquière. Those are the three towns that make up the region of Saguenay. And the main industries now are, you know, still paper and timber is very big here. Aluminium as well. Because we have so much water here, there are 3 hydroelectric dams in the region. So we actually produce electricity, which is used across Canada and in North America as well. And so, yeah, that's a little introduction to the region and its history. So Saguenay today, the modern town, as you can probably see in the background, you know, some of these major industries are still here. As I mentioned, aluminium, we have 3 big aluminium plants here in the region, and one of the biggest aluminium companies in the world who was born here. Tourism is very, very big now. We have a dock where some of the big cruise boats come in every year. I think before COVID, obviously going back a couple of years, we had over 60 boats come in during the summer. So that's very popular. Culture as well, big cultural scene, lots of festivals, music festivals and so on. IT is very big here. This was actually the home of a company called CGI, which is a company that the college itself shares a building with. They have nearly 1,000 employees in one of their head offices here and build offices across the world. And then, you know, retail, education, there are lots of other colleges here. There's a big university as well. So, you know, that is the town today. It's a very safe place to be living. It's one of the safest towns in Canada. So very secure. The people are very friendly. And as I say, there's lots of cultural activities, you know, lots of people from around the world. Obviously, it's not maybe as diverse as a big city like Montreal, but with the university here, there's lots of international students, lots of people coming in from all over the world to live here. So. These are just some shots of the Scutami itself. You have the main high street, which is called the Rue Racine, and then some lovely shots of you can see the town with the mountains in the background. Those mountains are about 40 minutes drive from here. So that's a great occasion in the winter. And obviously we get, you know, pretty heavy snow in the winter. That's somewhere everyone could go skiing and enjoy winter sports. And then you can see a lovely little suburb of Scutami as well. You know, there's lots of nature here. There's lots of trees. In the autumn, when the trees change color, it's absolutely beautiful as well. So there's great housing for people here. You know, very, very, very affordable as well. So it's a really good place to be living. So that's a quick look at some of the industries that I mentioned. Let's say aluminium. Rio Tinto Alcan is one of the biggest aluminium producers in the world. They have 3 big factories here. As I mentioned, timber is obviously still very common. It has been for, you know, centuries now. You can see in the top right-hand corner, that is the building that we use for the college. That is our campus, and we share it with CGI and a number of other IT and technology companies. So it's a real hub of IT and future technology. So it's great for the students when they finish their classes. They can often go and work there and do their internship there. And then hydroelectricity, as I say, we have 3 hydroelectric dams here producing, you know, a lot of electricity throughout Quebec.
It's
Do you
the
want to?
same slide, Bhumika. Please change it.
Did we lose Bhumika? Did we, Dakshita?
No, we did not. She's changing it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to change the slides? Okay, perfect, excellent. All right. So in terms of services in the region, as I say, now you know you have to remember we're not necessarily as big as Montreal, but we have all the kind of services that anyone will require in life. There's a big university here. There's a very good transport system. The transport system here is basically the buses. They're very efficient, and they run all day long, all week long, taking the students all around. Can you skip back a couple of slides? There's a very big hospital here as well, and an excellent health service here. Obviously taking care of all the people within the region. So as I say, in terms of services, there's everything that people require. When it comes to tourism, as you can see in the images here, we have the very big cruise ships that come in. Hopefully this summer we might have some, but I'm not sure about related to the COVID situation whether or not we will see any boats coming in this year. There's a big air base here. It's actually a military air base, but it's also where the flights come in from Montreal. There's always a very big air show there every summer. You can see the pulpery, which is the paper mill. The paper mill is now a historical site. It's just up the road from where we are here. So it's not now running as a paper mill anymore. It's just a historical site. And then there's Lac Saint-Jean, which is very close, beautiful big lake with a beach all around it. So that's another fantastic place to go and visit for the students. Ladies, I've just lost the PowerPoint off the screen.
Yes, so we are going to share it right away. We're really sorry for the technical glitches right now that we are having, but here it is once again.
Okay, cool.
Till then, we can also take some questions. Alex, if you don't mind.
Yeah. No, of course not.
Yeah. So what about the post-graduation work permit after studying from College Multihexa? And would you like to stress more on PGWP?
Certainly, yeah. Well, we're obviously an official DLI college, and we have access to the PGWP program at the end. So once students finish their 2-year program at the college, they can apply for up to a 3-year working permit, which is obviously an amazing advantage for them. So, not only will they have the 3 months internship, which is part of the college program, but then they will be able to go and work for up to 3 years anywhere in Canada they like. Obviously we hope some people will decide to stay here in this beautiful region, but that working permit will be a great opportunity for them to also then apply to become a permanent resident here in Canada if they wish to stay here on a long-term basis. So yeah, that's an amazing opportunity that students have once they've done their program at the college for up to 3 years work afterwards.
Okay. And the next question is, are we providing internships?
Yeah, we provide internships. So, we're going to obviously be working with all of the, all of the employers here in the region. As I already mentioned, CGI, they have very big offices here. They need people who speak English, who speak French. They're one of the very first people that we'll be working with to give internships for our students. But there are lots and lots of other possibilities here with some of the big industries. And really with anyone these days, obviously IT is so essential to everyone these days that, everyone's looking for good IT people to come and help run their networks. So yes, we will be working with the students, getting their resumes ready and speaking with the employers and following them throughout their 3 months of their internship.
And do we have to know French for applying for the jobs?
Applying for the jobs while they're studying or afterwards?
You can let us know both the scenarios while they're studying. As I get, our students are already there at the campus and they're getting $14 or let's say $13 per hour. And right now they're learning French. It's not like that they are very much fluent in French. So
yeah, well, obviously French is a factor here in the region. It's definitely a region where French is more the dominant language. I mean, people do speak English, but obviously the students. And any student really coming to Quebec at all, wherever you may be, even Montreal, in a sense, the government do encourage people to learn French. It is one of the 2 official languages of Canada. The fantastic thing for the students here is they get offered the French classes free of charge. they actually get an allocation of $60 a week as well given to them to do their French classes. So they seem to be really enjoying it. The French classes are done at the moment at the campus. So the French teachers come in and they teach them 3 or 4 days a week. Not full days, like 3-hour sessions, sometimes in the evenings. The students seem to be really enjoying that. They come in and they practice some French with me now in classes, which is great. So yes, French is definitely important. It's definitely an advantage, but for the students when they initially arrive and when they're looking for jobs here, you know, I'm here to help them all find jobs. And initially we look for jobs for them in places like factories and stuff where they don't necessarily have to speak a great deal of French during the day. But obviously through working as well, it's another opportunity for them to practice the new language.
Okay, so just to summarize all the French language points, I can say that yes, the French teacher is coming to the campus, they are teaching our students, and the students get $60 per week, if I'm not wrong, of
Yep.
studying the French classes. And those French classes are 3 to 4 days in a week, and not for the full day. It can be 3 hours, 2 hours, 3 hours, depending on the student schedule.
Yeah, that's right.
So, and it's important, and in fact I believe for the settlement purposes as well, there in Quebec, anywhere in Quebec, learning French is a mandate, right?
Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, the government, as I say, you know, for those of you who don't know, obviously there are a number of provinces across Canada, and you know, most of them, the majority of them are English speaking primarily. But you know, Canada has 2 official languages, which is French and English. And definitely here in Quebec, the government wishes very much to preserve and protect the French language. So, you know, anybody coming here really, wherever they may be going, yes, they are being encouraged to learn French as much as possible. So it's a real advantage for the students. Yes, it's obviously a challenge having a new language, but, you know, they start off with the very basics, and the French classes are a lot of fun. I think all the students are really enjoying that as well. So.
Okay, got it. So there's one student who has got few questions, and the name is Satya Prakash. The question is that he's confused in some courses. So what we will do, Satya Prakash, is we will be connecting you after this webinar, and we'll have a meeting together to understand what courses you would like to take and how you want to take it further. Is that cool, Alex, with you?
Is that good for me? Yeah, sure.
Okay, got it.
No
So,
problem.
what will be the class schedule once the college starts? Timings, class durations?
Well, class schedule for international students is about 2.5 days a week. So depending on when you arrive, you know, if for those arriving in September, as I say, you'll have a couple of 2.5 days a week at the college. Obviously, you're allowed to work 20 hours a week. So you'll have your 20 hours work in the week. French classes are about 10 to 12 hours as well. So they get scheduled in a couple of evenings and a morning and so on in the week. So, you know, you end up with quite a busy week. The students are normally pretty busy, but they normally have at least 1, maybe 2 days off in the week. The weekend is normally free for them, which is nice. So they can, you know, they can study or they can do some activities or whatever it is they need to do. So, yeah, that's normally how we schedule everyone in. 2.5 days of study at the college itself, French classes and work. And as I say, that gives you a pretty busy week.
So, Bhumika, would you like to take up some questions, or would you like to continue with the slides? Again, I believe that there is some network error, but there is another very interesting question, Alex, for us.
Sure.
It says that how many intakes are there, and what are the most popular undergraduate and postgraduate programs per annum rate? So unfortunately, we do not have the postgraduate programs. We've got all the undergraduate programs, but those are all your career building programs. That is what we can say. And over to you, Alex, if you would like to highlight anything about our programs and our major intakes.
Well, so our major intakes, it's been difficult. I mean, I'm not going to lie, the last, where are we now? The last 18 months or so with the COVID situation has made life pretty tough for us, right? Actually, you know, we've been trying to get students to come in. And it's been very hard. We're lucky that we've been able to start some people online, even from India. That's obviously the situation from next week. We've got a load of students who couldn't make it here before the flights were stopped coming from India, so we'll start them online. They were obviously supposed to be here for starting in May, so we're going to start those guys online. September's a very popular intake. We're looking to have a good number of students obviously arriving in September. But yeah, the last 18 months it's been difficult really. We've had to kind of move people and defer people to different intakes. We had a good group that started online in India last October. And those guys, pretty much all of them have now arrived here in Sangney, which is fantastic. So yeah, September's a good one, and obviously earlier in the year, March, that kind of time is a good intake as well.
Then that's great. We've got multiple intakes then, and the students have got all the opportunities. Meanwhile, to let us know that which intake the student is interested in. So how much the student is paid for French? I think that we have already mentioned. It's $60 per week.
Yeah, so that's what the student receives. Okay, it's not what they pay; it's what they receive. They don't pay anything. It's free of charge, and they get paid for it. So, okay. It's good for everyone.
Okay. So we'll take up another questions after going through our slides, some of the slides, as Bhumika is back. So over to you, Bhumika and Alex.
Okay.
Thank you, Dakshita. Let's take it ahead, Alex. Over to you.
Yeah, sure. So just in terms of coming back to Sangney itself, just to remind everyone to say we're about 4.5 hours drive north of Montreal and about 2 hours drive from Quebec City. Very easily accessible now. There's a fantastic road system. They actually built double lane road through the mountain range, which is between here and Quebec City. So it's very easily accessible by road. There is a train service as well, which runs quite regularly from here to Montreal. So that's another good, that's another great way to travel between the two places. The train is beautiful as well. It goes through some of the really beautiful landscape between here and Montreal. Boat is a possibility. Not so many people are going to come in by boat from Montreal, but it is definitely, there are services running that will bring you into a place called Tadoussac. And then you can come on up to Sangney. Tadoussac is another beautiful town, which is about 2 hours drive from here. And then obviously the plane service is a key one. Montreal to Sangney Airport is about 50-minute flight, I think. In normal times, they run probably four or five flights a day. During the COVID, it's been a little bit less than that, but that's a great opportunity, and that's what we encourage students that are arriving here to do, to fly to Montreal, and then obviously get that flight directly to Sangney, and then we can come and pick you up. Okay, so a little bit more about local services, guys. I mentioned before, there's all the kind of services you find in a city, hospitals and doctors and all those are important services. Equally for anyone who's looking to live here long term, there's obviously there's great services for families, good schools, good daycare centres, and then for students who want to enjoy some of life, there's lots and lots of restaurants. There's a cinema here. There's a very big library, which students get free access to, along with a lot of other services throughout the town. There's some great theatres. There's some gyms. I know some of these students have recently joined a gym, which is good on them, keeping themselves healthy and in shape. That's always important when you're studying. So there's lots of gyms here, and lots of shopping. There's a couple of very big shopping centres. With all the kind of shops you'd need for every requirement, clothes, and lots of stores selling computer equipment. So if students do want to come here and buy themselves a laptop or whatever it is, a new mobile phone, they all seem very keen to be buying an iPhone when they get here. So all of that's obviously available here. and lots of good local businesses as well, you know, and markets selling fruit and vegetables. So yeah, you know, all the services that anyone could require could be found here in Sangney. Okay, so the population, you know, the population, we can talk about Sangney, we can talk about Lac Saint-Jean as well. It all tends to be thrown together under the same region. And the total is about 250,000 people, I think, covering the town of Scutami, l'Abbaye, Jonquière, Lac Saint-Jean, and lots of other smaller towns around here. Scutami itself, about 146,000 people, which is great. You know, it's a busy, you know, small city, but without being absolutely crazy like you know, a big city like Montreal. You know, lots of people working here, say, in all the industries and all the businesses here. And I say, a fantastic place to live long term. You know, if people are thinking of settling in Canada, it's a beautiful place to live. Bring up a family as well, if that's something people plan on doing in the end. So.
Oh, yes, Alex. I think that we lost you.
Did you?
Oh, no. Yeah, it was good. So,
I'm still there.
yeah, there are more questions, but I believe that we will cover cost of living, and after that, we'll go to the questions.
Okay, sure. Okay, cost of living, guys, obviously that's an important factor for anybody, but certainly obviously for students coming here. You know, students will obviously get we have student rates for the bus services here, and we have student rates for things like health insurance, which is very important as well. But you know, you get a nice idea of how much some of the services cost here. You know, petrol prices tend to fluctuate quite a lot. A couple of students here are actually looking to buy a car, so obviously that's something they're going to start having to consider in their monthly budget as well, is petrol costs as well. You know, lots of restaurants, all kinds of restaurants, from the, you know, the cheaper fast food restaurants all the way up to, you know, the high-end restaurants. Grocery shopping, you know, depending on how sensible a student is, obviously, but you know, they can be looking maybe, all right, they can probably manage for about $200 a month, $250 a month maybe for groceries. Sports and recreation, I say, some of the students have joined gyms recently. There's a very good gym that opened up recently, which is not very expensive at all, so they've all gone and joined up to that gym there. And obviously the rent factor is very important. You know, accommodation for students is going to be around $400 a month here in the region. This price is going to include all the services they require, heating and electricity, unlimited internet, and all the furnishings they'll need as well. So, you know, it's a good price and it covers all that they need, and they'll get lots of service from the landlords as well. They're good landlords who will look after them. So, you know, that should help students guide themselves a little bit when they're thinking about their monthly budget. With the money that they'll be earning working, and with the money they'll be earning from French classes, you know, they should comfortably be able to cover their costs and also save a little bit of money if they do wish to buy themselves, you know, treat themselves to something like an iPhone. So. All right, so this is, you know, obviously just some comments from the students, you know, who are living here. So we've had international students coming for not quite 2 years yet. And then obviously there's a big international community here with the university as well. I know some of our Indian students have, you know, met other students from India and from other places through their French classes, which is great. So, you know, they're a long way from being the only ones here in Sangney. There's lots of other international students that they've met, and the local people who are very friendly too.
So we have got a couple of questions over here, Alex.
Sure. Yeah, fire away. Yeah, good.
Yes, the questions are, what is the minimum wage rate here for the students' jobs, basically?
Well, the minimum wage at the moment in Canada, if I'm not mistaken, is about I think it's about $13.75 to $14, something like that. So, that's obviously what the students are going to be earning initially. I mean, some of them earn a bit more. It depends on the employer as well. Some employers may pay a little bit more than that. I think some are earning a bit more than $14 an hour. But yeah, that's roughly what the minimum wage is at the moment.
Okay, and what kind of part-time jobs are available for our students?
Well, at the moment, I've got students. I've got two of the girls are working as nannies. So they're taking care of a couple of children a few nights a week. They're doing their 20 hours like that, and they're really enjoying that. Helps them practice their French with the two young children as well. I've got students working in a couple of factories, food packing factories. I've got some of the students working, doing house cleaning, doing kind of room cleaning in a hotel. We've got students doing dishwashing in restaurants. So, there's lots and lots of different jobs out there. I've got contact with lots and lots of employers who are happy to take, international students and look after them. So, there's a variety of different jobs being done at the moment.
Okay, and there is another very interesting question that they would like to know more about the scholarships, and they would also like to know more about the tuition deposit. So telling about scholarship, guys, over here, our tuition deposit is $11,800 per year, which is, you can say, approximately $12,000 per year, which is bare minimum of $6,000 per semester, if we calculate. And Alex, would you like to say something about the scholarships?
Well, obviously in terms of scholarships at the moment, you guys might be better placed actually to know exactly what we're offering in terms of scholarships. But yeah, I mean, the initial tuition fee obviously has to be paid when the first application is made. And then obviously, the rest is taken care of after a year that the student has been here.
Yeah. So our tuition fees.
So I would like.
Yeah. Bhumika.
I would like to add on something to Dakshita in terms of scholarships. So at the moment for September 21 intake, we are giving a student discount of 2,000 Canadian dollars. So our fees, which was initially 13,800, has been cut short to 11,800. So there's already a discount for all of the students who wish to apply for September, which is even better than a scholarship because some students might not qualify for a scholarship in some cases. So yeah, that's what we're offering. No scholarships, instead student discount.
Oh yes, and that's, I believe, that one of the best points for all of us. And I was considering that are we giving any more scholarships apart from 11,800, which is already a discounted rate. So initially it was 13,800. Now the student discount goes to $2,000, and now it's 11,800, which is the bare minimum that we can charge, or that the students can pay for as their tuition deposit. So there's no point of scholarship right now. We have got student discounts open. So let your students come and enroll us on global.admissions@collegemultihexa.ca. So we have answered most of the questions, but Bhumika, would you like to take some of the other questions, which I believe we have covered most of them, and we can then continue with the slides?
Yeah, definitely, Dakshita. So there are a couple of questions related to the requirements that are going on for September 21 intake. So I would like to highlight that. It's not part of this webinar, although, but yes, I would like to mention the requirements. So we accept students with at least 50% overall in their grade 12, especially if they're coming from India. And in terms of English proficiency tests, we accept IELTS and PTE. And in some of the cases, we also accept Cambridge tests. So for IELTS, our requirement is 6 overall, 6 each, preferably. But we're trying to be a little flexible. So students with good academics having 5.5 in one of the modules will be accepted. When it comes to PTE, our requirement is 55 overall with no module less than 51. So if you meet the admission requirement, feel free to connect with your respective agent or connect with us so that we can process that application for September 21, as the deadline is really very close. So that was one question. Again, we have a lot of questions to answer, but yes, I think that we should go ahead with the PPT and then take on the rest of the questions.
Okay.
So yeah, over to you, Alex.
Over to me. Okay, perfect. Right. So what's the slide? Okay, right, good. So one of the wonderful things about this region that I personally absolutely love is the opportunity to get outdoors and really enjoy Canadian life. If you want to really experience what Canada's all about, the nature and the beauty of it, then this region is the best place to come. It really is. You can see the image that shows the River Saguenay running through the fjord. As I say, we have nature reserves, we have 2 national parks around here, we have the mountain range. So there's a wonderful amount of outdoor activities to do, whether you like cycling or whether you simply like walking and hiking. It's really, really beautiful. So that's a really good thing. Lots of, really fresh air as well. So it's a really good, healthy place to be living. There's some beautiful golf courses. I happen to play golf. And thankfully the golf season has arrived now. We can't obviously play golf during the winter. So I'm very pleased that the golf courses are now open. There's some beautiful golf courses here. Loads and loads of campsites as well for anyone who wants to have a traditional Canadian camping experience and build a fire and fight off a bear or something. Then you can go and do all that kind of thing here. It's really, really stunning, the surroundings that we have. I think in the next slide it will show some great shots actually of some of the activities that can be done. Yeah, so you can see one of the beautiful golf courses. You can actually see there's one shot. We might have another one as well. There's the ice hockey ring here as well. We have a local ice hockey team. They're not in the National Hockey League, but they're kind of the league down from that. Some of the young players go on to play in the National Hockey League. So watching ice hockey is a really fun activity. You can see the mountains, which are actually the mountains in the distance. I don't know how well you can see them from my phone, but that's literally the ski slopes that are off in the distance from here. And then obviously with the river and all the lakes that are around, there are lots of nautical activities. So, canoeing and kayaking and kite surfing. So anyone who likes that kind of activity, there's loads and loads of possibilities for that as well. And again, a couple of, beautiful shots here again of some of the places that you can go and visit. There's some amazing hiking. There's all these kind of aerial ropes and climbing that you can do. That's very popular around here as well. Some of them are right alongside the river. So as I say, you get these absolutely amazing views as well. Hopefully, again, it's been tough for some of the students here with the COVID situation, but hopefully we're going to get them all together and we're going to go and do some of these activities with them. Then, of course, there's the Canadian winter. We can't hide from it. There's obviously lots of snow that comes in, but it's amazing. It's a really fun thing to have, actually. And it's something to be embraced. Again, there's so many activities to be done. Those people who want to try skiing and snowboarding, dog sledding, ice fishing, snowmobiling, there's endless activities throughout the winter. So, it's a case of wrapping up warm and going and trying some of these things out. It's lots of fun. And I say the air is so wonderfully fresh and crisp. It's really, really enjoyable, the winter here.
So next on, Alex, we have a beautiful video from the city Saguenay, which covers, a beautiful shot. So I'm just going to play that. Yeah.
Yep.
Saguenay, a city with a lot to offer. A dynamic city. Saguenay, a city surrounded by spectacular nature. It's a city that offers an unparalleled quality of life with more than 146,000 inhabitants in a vast area. where we do good business. Saguenay is known as one of the best cities in Canada for industry and plantation. Situated in the heart of the province of Quebec, it's the regional metropolis as well as the hub for development in northern Quebec. There are several ways to get to Saguenay. By land, with a safe 4-lane divided highway. By boat, with its 2 modern deep-water ports that are accessible year-round. And by plane, with the Saguenay-Bagotville Airport, the most active regional airport in Canada in terms of flights to sun destinations, welcoming more than 100,000 travelers per year. The Canadian Forces Base Bagotville is also located there. It provides an important link between the Canadian and American National Defense Forces. With its diverse industries, Saguenay boasts a highly qualified and skilled workforce, known for its stability and productivity. Benefiting from the presence of Rio Tinto Alcan, the second largest aluminum manufacturer in the world, Saguenay is known for being the aluminum capital of the world. With its 4 production centers, 3 research centers, and multiple processing plants,
So what we can do is we can send you the link of the video so that you're able to counsel your students in all the ways for the city Saguenay, which is how many hours away from Montreal, Alex? Would you like to specify something on the distance?
Yeah, so about 4.5 hours drive, or about 50 minutes in a flight.
Oh, that's great. And there was a question on the airport pickup. So would you like to say anything about the airport pickup, that the students need to land up on at the Bagotville airport to avail the airport pickup option?
Yeah, well, obviously flying in from India, you're going to fly into probably either Toronto or Montreal. There's no direct flights to, you can't fly. There's not international flights necessarily coming into Bagotville. So you'll fly to one of those 2 airports, and then obviously you'll get a connecting flight to Bagotville Airport. And then I will be generally there. I'm normally there to meet students when they arrive and obviously accompany them to their accommodation. Obviously, in the last year or so, there's now the situations like the quarantine situation. So these things have to be factored in. We'll see what changes happen. It's obviously the government that's going to make decisions on what changes will happen there. But obviously at the moment, students, when they first arrive, they have to quarantine for a couple of weeks. But we'll be here to take care and help everyone organize their quarantine location. And still, we'll still meet you at the airport to make sure you're welcomed.
Oh, that's great. And then would you like to tell something about the 2 programs that we're running, the network manager and the programmer analyst?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. So hang on, put down my cup of tea. Yeah, so obviously, that's what we have here at the college. We've been going for 26 years now, and we've always specialized in IT and information technology. So, those are our 2 programs that we have. We have the programmer side for those who enjoy learning computer languages, building websites, building mobile applications. And then obviously on the other side, we have the network manager classes. I'm actually a teacher as well on the network manager side. So, there we'll be learning about, building and managing the computer networks within businesses, keeping everything running. Obviously, everyone's completely reliant on their network and their internet running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So, the network managers are there to keep everything running properly and put new equipment in place and so on. So, fantastic classes. And obviously, I'm sure we're all aware the world of IT, certainly here in Canada, there are more and more jobs available in it. So it's a great field to get into, and you're guaranteeing yourself a great future. IT is always going to be around, and it's always going to keep moving forward and developing. So there's a great future ahead of you once you've done your classes here.
Oh, that's great. And there were multiple questions on the years of gap that we accept while assessing the application. So I really cannot say that there are definite years that we accept or we don't accept. It all depends on your applicant. It all depends on your application. Send us the application. We will look at the admission requirements. If the student meets the admission requirements, gap actually would not matter over here. And so, Alex, would you like to take it forward? Because I believe that we have covered most of the questions. And
Okay.
not worry, we will be sending this PPT to all of you post this session so that you can counsel your students accordingly. We also have got few students waiting. And after this, Alex, after this session, Alex, I believe you will be going to the campus and the students will be there who will be studying, right? The
Yeah,
in-person.
no, yeah. This morning we're the students. I think they've got French class this morning, and then we've got a revision session this afternoon, and they've got 2 exams this week. So they've got quite a busy week. They've got a couple of big final exams this week, so they're all a bit stressed about that.
Oh, okay. So it's final exams time, and most of the
Yeah.
students who joined in our January 21 intake will be completing their semester very, very soon.
Yeah, they'll be completing the first part, and then obviously then we move on. The first classes are obviously for everyone. They're common classes that both programmers and network managers do. And after that, we'll be splitting them up into the 2 groups, and they'll be moving forward with their chosen subject. So.
Okay, and I believe that all of our students have already got their jobs.
Yep, yeah, everyone's got jobs at the moment. So everyone's. It's a bit of a juggling act, making sure that everyone can do their 20 hours work, be at college when they should be, get their French classes done. But everyone seems to be happy and settled, and they've got their work, which is great. So.
That's great. So we do have, I don't know how many slides are left basically. So Bhumika, would you like to take over? And we can give Alex some 2 minutes
Right, that's
coffee.
right. So this is the closure already. So just wanted to share about the culture shock that the students face and how they can cope up with it. And yeah, that's about it. And then we can wrap up today's webinar. Yeah, Alex, over to you.
Over to me. Okay. Well, yeah, no, I mean, obviously, guys, it is obviously a factor for any of these students. A lot of them, it's the first time they're leaving their homes to travel anywhere. So it's always going to be a culture shock, I think, going to a new country. And coming here, obviously, there are some factors. The language is certainly a factor. But I mean, there's a lot. Everyone at college pretty much speaks English, so they've got good support around them. Obviously, from myself and the other teachers, and there is, there's lots of people who speak English in the region, and they're very happy to practice it as well, and equally help the students practice their French. I think the great thing now is we've got a good base of Indian students here now. So the great thing for the new students who've been arriving recently is that they've already got, people who've been here for 6 months and a year. And those guys know the region, they know where to go, where the buses go and where the shops are. So they're there to help them out. So that really helps, I think. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to be a big change for people coming here and a long way from families and so on. But just rest assured that there's lots of people here to look after them, not just at the college. There's lots of organizations in the town as well that help with people arriving, whether it's students or workers who are arriving from abroad. There's lots of services and lots of help for them to make sure everyone feels welcomed and is able to settle in the region. And you can see a couple of photos there of the students in the classrooms. We have a little golf tournament every year with all the students, which our international students really enjoyed last year, as you can see them posing in that picture there. And yeah, it's just important that, students, when they do arrive, they keep in communication with their families, they keep in communication with the students who are here. So those guys were very happy to help. They'll be very happy to help them out, understanding how things work in the region. And obviously keep in touch with me. I'm going to be there to help out with all the services that they require, make sure that they're happy and that they feel settled. And just look after themselves. As I say, the region is a fantastic place to be for outdoor life and for fresh air. And all of these factors are important when you're a student, taking care of yourselves. So, No, I mean, I think, well, you know, it's always going to be a big change. I think we've got everything we need here to make people feel welcome and really enjoy life here.
Right. So that almost brings us to the end of today's webinar. But before we wrap up, I would like to mention that this entire video of the webinar can be found on the Facebook page of MSM. So for those of you who would like their students to view this webinar again for the information on the city, you can definitely find this, and post the session, I will be sharing the link to this video with all of you. And yes, highly requested, the presentation as well will be sent out to you in emails. So yeah, I hope that everybody enjoyed our virtual tour of Saguenay, along with some interesting information about the students and the culture in the city and the local services and the costs involved. So thank you so much, everybody, for tuning in today's webinar. We will see you shortly in our another webinar again. And before we wrap up, I would like to hand over to Alex so that he can thank everybody.
Right, no, thank you everyone for attending. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you're excited to come here and join us. And like I say, you know, we're all looking forward to welcoming as many students as possible. We very much pray, you know, I know how incredibly tough the situation has been in India recently, but we very much pray that the situation will start improving and that everyone can start making plans to travel here to Canada. And as I say, we're very much looking forward to welcoming you, myself, and you know, the students who are already here are looking forward to having more and more people around them coming here to enjoy the college life and the beautiful life here in Saguenay. So thank you very much for joining me here in Canada this morning. I better head back to college to teach these students. So have a lovely evening, everyone. Thank you, ladies, for organizing as always.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Alex, for being a part. It's always fun. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Alex, for taking down time, and also thanks to our students, those who gave their valuable insights for all our agents and also for all our students. So we recruit globally. I mean, there can be IELTS requirements for India, but there are waived off requirements for few African countries. There can be different admission requirements for Nepalese, Bangladesh region, Vietnam, and Indonesia, and so on and so forth. So do not hesitate to contact us on global.admissions@collegemultihexa.ca. As we recruit globally, we'll ensure that we assess your application as per your region.
So thank you so much, and have a lovely evening ahead.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, guys.